Imagine a place that's supposed to be peaceful. Waves rolling in, the sun setting just above the horizon, laughter echoing along the shore. Now, imagine the darkest secrets hidden beneath that surface. Tonight, we're diving into the eerie side of beach trips with 3 disturbing true stories that will make you think twice before your next visit to the shore. Story 1. The Lost Swimmer. The beach was packed. Kids running, families setting up picnics, friends joking around, but amidst all the carefree joy was Tim, a solo traveler who just wanted some peace. As he wandered a little further down the shore, he found an isolated stretch, away from everyone else. But as the sun began to dip, Tim noticed something odd. Out in the water, a figure bobbing. A swimmer? The person looked too far out, drifting deeper with each wave, and Tim felt a strange tug of worry. He shouted, but no response. Curious and admittedly a bit concerned, he walked closer to the waterline, trying to get a better look. And just as he did, the figure seemed to turn, its dark face glancing back at him. But something wasn't right. There were no features, just a blank, pale face staring directly at him from the depths. Goosebumps prickled on Tim's skin, and he took a step back, heart pounding. Was this some cruel prank? A dummy drifting out to sea? You ever feel like the beach should come with a warning label? Side effects may include encounters with faceless swimmers. But Tim couldn't shake the feeling. He reported it to a lifeguard, who shrugged it off as a stray buoy. Yet, as the light faded, Tim noticed something washed up on the shore. An old, tattered swim cap, matching what he thought he'd seen in the water. He grabbed his things and left that beach for good. They say if you're alone on that shore at sunset, you might just catch sight of that same faceless figure drifting out at sea, waiting as if for someone to join them. Sometimes the beach isn't about who you see, but what you hear or what lies beneath you. Which brings us to our next tale. Story 2. The Buried Secret. Sarah and her friends were looking for a thrill, and they'd heard about an abandoned section of the coastline that was said to be off limits, though the real reason was never clear. So they decided to camp out there for the night. It was eerie, quiet, with the wind carrying an almost mournful tone. Perfect for a group of thrill seekers, right? As they set up camp, one friend, Jackson, found something odd in the sand. A smooth, flat stone with symbols etched into it. Treasure map, anyone? He joked, as the friends laughed it off, adding it to their collection of weird beach finds. That night, as they sat around the fire, strange noises started coming from beneath them. Faint whispers, like voices trapped beneath the sand. "Did you hear that?" Sarah whispered, eyes wide with fear. Her friends froze. They could hear it too, muted cries like someone pleading for help. One of the guys tried to shrug it off, but as they continued listening, they could all feel the weight of those voices, real or imagined. They couldn't tell. No one slept that night. The next morning they left, but Jackson decided to keep the strange stone as a souvenir. Days later, he began hearing whispers at home, soft murmurs in the dead of night, always coming from where he'd placed the stone. No one in that group has been able to return to the beach since. So if you ever find strange stones buried on a beach, maybe it's best to leave them where they are. Unless you like the idea of bringing souvenirs. That might just bring someone or something with them. Now, you might be thinking, well, I'll just stay in the populated areas, stay in the light. Safety in numbers, right? But sometimes it doesn't matter where you are, which brings us to our final story. Story 3. The Beach Stalker. Emily loved evening beach runs, fewer crowds, cooler air. One night she decided to jog along a quieter stretch, feeling peaceful as the sun dipped below the waves. As she neared an empty lifeguard stand, she noticed someone behind her. Just another late-night jogger, she assumed, and picked up her pace slightly. But no matter how fast she went, he kept the same distance. She could feel his eyes on her back, each step sending her heart racing. Just as she turned to confront him, he ducked behind the lifeguard stand, disappearing from view. She stopped, catching her breath and feeling slightly silly for overreacting. But as she looked up, she saw him again, standing at the water's edge, closer than he should have been. This time, his face was clear, twisted in a grin. Terrified, she ran back to the main path, her heartbeat nearly louder than her footsteps. When she finally reached a crowd and looked back, there was no one there. But that wasn't the end. She'd see him again, a shadow, lurking in the distance each time she returned to the beach. Some say he's been seen by others too, a strange figure who appears only to those running alone. It's strange, isn't it? How some places carry shadows, stories of people who maybe never left, and the beach, where we feel free, relaxed, and unguarded, might just be hiding its own secrets beneath the surface. If you enjoyed these stories, there's another tale you won't want to miss. On the end screen, click to hear the scariest haunted doll story you've ever heard. You thought these stories were chilling? Just wait. Thanks for watching, and remember, some places are best left unexplored.